The only thing that was great about it is two things. One, winning a championship at home for the fans of Philadelphia, and then on top of that, the following year, winning on the road, giving the team a better chance to celebrate as a team and not have the influx of fans jumping on the ice and those kind of things. So it was two different winnings, kind of, in a sense, there that way. And with it all said, too, there we were very fortunate. The second, both seasons, that were both years that we did win, our parents were there, which was great. And the fathers flew with us there. The second year we won the Stanley Cup in Buffalo, the fathers were with us, and they had a chance to celebrate in the dressing room and with their sons, and it was a great time, a great experience. I got a great picture of my dad, Harry, there with the cup, him and I, and the mums were with the owner's wife, who was, they held a party there at the Spectrum there at the Blue Line Club, they called it. So special 2 years, to say the least. And the parades were fantastic. The first year we're all in separate cars trying to get through 1 million people plus. It was a little bit of a chore, to say the least. But the second year they put us on a float, the whole team on the float, and coaching staff and whatever. So it worked out really well to have the opportunity to be up high and see the amount of fans down Broad Street. And we turned into a building that's not there anymore. It's where the center is built today. It's the John F. JFK Stadium, which was right across from the Spectrum. It seated 100,000, or close to it. And that was totally packed. And they brought the float in and circled a couple times around inside the arena. So special moments, to say the least.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen the footage of the fans coming onto the ice there. That looks pretty crazy.
It's unbelievable. Like it's hard to explain, but what an exciting time to be part of. I think my very first year pro was the year before, so I was very young at the time. I was 21 there, and we won the cup, and obviously 22 the following year, kind of thing. So. With it all said, there, a young age to win like that was phenomenal. And my first year pro, we got to the semifinals, and we had a good team. I think everyone believed after the 72-73 season, which was my first year as a pro, I think we all felt we had a real good chance of winning, doing some damage, and we did. Boston had a powerhouse of a team, but I think we were a better team as a team and a little more depth. We used everybody that was dressed, and everyone contributed. And with everything said and done, that was pretty good, to say the least. That way, it's like I said, that era of time was a very, very special time all the way around. So something I'll never forget, that's for sure.
That's awesome. And you also had the opportunity to play for Team Canada in the 1976 Canada Cup. So how did
76 Canada Cup? Yeah.
Yeah. So how did winning that compare?
Awesome. Well, you know what? I've always been around good people and good players and great coaching staff, the whole 9 yards. And I was honored that Team Canada took us as a line, the LCD line there, and we ended up winning it there in overtime against the Czechs. But anyway, with the said, there was another experience and a lot of hockey within the first 4 years of playing. You know, you play a lot of hockey, you play a lot of playoff games, and certain dates pop out in your mind. And obviously, I think it's May 19th and May 27th. My memory serves me right. Special times on the calendar.
Yeah,
that bring back great memories. So that was sure one of them. Being on Team Canada is something to be very proud of. You're playing for your country, and we had a good team. If my memory serves me right, if you looked at that roster, the 76 Canada Cup team, I think there's only probably maybe 3 or 4 guys that are not in the Hall of Fame. All the rest of the guys are. When you start looking at Bobby Orr, Serge Savard, Guy Lapointe, that kind of a group, Dennis Potvin, these kind of names, they're legends. And we had a team, not knowing then, but we know now, was a team of legends. And probably the best team was ever assembled as a group, as far as for that era of time, obviously, for sure. You look at all the names, their star players. If they left their trademark in the league, that's for sure.
And so you were a 7-time All-Star. What was the All-Star game like back then, and how has it changed compared to today?
Well, it's changed a lot. Obviously, it's a lot of showtime now. Back then, it seems like our team never could compete at times, and we always never got embarrassed. But there was competition. There wasn't like anything easy or anything like that. The games were played for real. And with that said, it was interesting to say the least. I know we got not embarrassed, but close to it there a few times, and then things had changed. And I remember being the captain of the All-Star team in Washington, D.C. I'm not sure of the year. And Al Larber came up to me and said, "Why don't you be our captain?" I said, "Good enough." I said, "I'm very honored. I thank you for that." So I said to the guys in the dressing room, I said, "Listen, we're playing against great players. They had Gretzky on the other team, and, they were loaded pretty good." And I said, "I'm going to say something." I said, "In the early years," I said, "we used to get trounced a little bit." I said, "It'd be nice to win this game for Al Larber. He's a great coach, and, he's obsessed with the Islanders and whatever." I said, "It'd be nice to win this game, and we ended up winning, but it was a close game." But now it's changed a little bit. There's a lot of 3-on-3, and there's a lot of showtime and that kind of stuff. It's not like back in that era of time, that's for sure.
And so, just in general, what was it like growing up here in Callander, and how did that influence you to pursue professional hockey?
Well, that's pretty much is all what we had. My dad was a big hockey fan, and he had the petrol can there at the corner of Wassy Road and 654 there. So, with it said there, he had built that in the mid-50s, and we lived upstairs, and they ended up having a rink built right around the corner where we could skate every day. It was really our only sport besides baseball. In the summers a little bit, and then soccer came in a little bit later, but that was our sport, and I fell in love with it in the sense of just, the skating aspect and handling the puck and shooting the puck and that kind of stuff. We had some awesome teams that competed at a high level, even though, we were a small community. Still, with that said, we didn't lose too many games. I remember one year we didn't lose a game. So we competed against other towns that were pretty much the same in population, but we had some good teams. But we only had enough to have one goaltender. I played defense with Greg Murdoch, and so there's 2 defensemen, and then we had 6 forwards, 2 lines. That was our team. We didn't have like 6 defensemen and 3 or 4 lines or any of that other. We just had a goalie, 2 defensemen, and 2 lines. That was our team. So
that's a lot of playtime.
Lots of playtime. This is when we used to play the tournaments and do 3 games in a day. You were pretty tired going home that night. So, but it was fun. I had a lot of great memories with the area. Still do to this day. It is home, and it was special time in that period too. And I never really left there until 1969. Is when I left and went south to play. I played North Bay for a couple of years with the Trappers, and left from there. I was drafted by Kitchener and went down there in the 69-70 season, and still came back. It's home. love being up there in the summers. Love the people. I spend a little bit of time at the tavern, which is good to catch up with everybody. And other than that, I usually hang my hat on the South Shore and chill out.
Oh, that sounds pretty perfect.
It's good, very good.
And just, are there any other, special moments from your career that stand out for you?
Gosh, you'd have to go the Cup years, obviously. Then I was fortunate enough that the Flyers kept me on board in management team, and I went on worked there for 30 years and scouting. Then I got into coaching. I was down in Hershey coaching a couple of times when some of the coaches were relieved of their duties. I went in and finished the season off. Then I'd have to go to the Phantoms hockey team when I was coaching there. We won the American League Championship in 1998. We had an awesome team, and we got another ring. And then, going to Tampa. I went to Tampa for 6 years. And with that said, spent from 2002 to 2008. Won a Stanley Cup there in 2004. So I'm fortunate enough to have 4 championship rings, 3 Stanley Cup rings, and an American Hockey League ring, and very proud of it. Been great.
That's not too bad.
No. Yeah. And I thank the thing about it, I thank the people of Callander that always supported. Of course, your parents, they're everything. And my brothers, especially, they're the ones that were always pushing me a little bit, so it was good.
Good, and so I guess in the next couple of years it'll be the 50th anniversary since you were first drafted. Is that
yes.
hard to believe?
I said, I don't know where the time goes. I'm shocked by that. You're right. Being there across the border in '72, it'll be 48 years come September here that I crossed the border, and anyway, the city here has been warm to us ever since we won. I spent time in Florida, quite a bit of time in Florida that way, and I enjoy getting back to the true home of Callander there in the summers.